Payroll Video 2. In this lesson, we will take a look at solving some word problems associated with straight time hours, overtime hours, and holiday hours. And also maybe a little practice on calculating the monthly salary based on an annual rate. So in lesson number 1, or video lesson number 1, you did the monthly earnings. Should have come up with numbers that look like this. And if you need to check those numbers, you could go ahead and pause the video. And let me zoom in there. And you could check those. And then worksheet 2, gross earnings. It looked like this. And I also have a print if you want to look at that to check your numbers. If this is a little too awkward, hopefully those are coming through clear enough. But if you check some of those, you should get an idea of how you did. And once again, if there are any problems at all, let me know. Don't assume that my worksheet is right. I do make mistakes. And so make sure that you agree with these numbers. And if you don't, let's get together and take a look at it. So next up, we want to make a new worksheet. It's going to be worksheet 3 that we will entitle Problems. So we'll click on the new sheet plus sign down at the bottom. Double click it and name it Problems. And we're going to do 6 problems. Oh, I've already used that name, so I'm going to go ahead and say, I'll put a version A here. And zoom in and we'll call this Problems. Come on down to A5 and let's type problem 1. Make the column a little wider. And the first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and format the worksheet and type in some problems. And that way we'll get some experience using Excel, using some techniques that we haven't used before. And then we can come back to it and you can calculate those problems. So the first thing that we want to do is to merge a bunch of these cells and enter some text. So here's how that's going to work. For this one, I'm going to merge 6 rows. And then I'm going to merge the columns B through F. And so we're going to take these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 5, 30 cells, and we're going to create one cell and kind of forming a text box that we will use to type in our problem. So right click while you're pointing to this active cell region or this range of cells, format cells. And we've seen this dialog box before. We've used the number section where we format our values, and we've used the fill and the border section before. But now we're going to go to alignment. And within alignment, we want to click wrap text and merge cells. And it'll become clear here in just a minute of why we are using wrap text. Click OK, and now you can see we have one large box that used to be 30 separate cells. And then the last thing we want to do to prepare this box while it's selected, or this big cell, is to select up here top alignment. And by doing that, when we start typing, it'll start everything up here in the upper left corner. So we're going to click top alignment, and then we're ready to start entering some text. And the text that you are going to enter is going to be, let's see if I have it. Here it is right here. I'm going to enter these problems in there. And so our first problem is right here. Chessa receives a salary of $925 a week. In 1 week, she worked 60 hours. What are her gross earnings for the week? So I've set up my window here so that I can see my text and also my worksheet, and I can go ahead and start typing. And so you will take that information And notice that as I type, this wrap happens right here in 1 week. I didn't press enter. You just keep on typing, and it works just like a Word document. It just wraps the text down to the next line. Okay, so what are our gross earnings for the week? And so you're going to solve this problem using this worksheet space down here. And if you're not sure what to do, well, a big hint is to go back to gross earnings and take a look at these headings here that were used, and you're going to do it in a very similar fashion. So you could go ahead and solve it now, or go ahead and skip some space, leave yourself some space here, and come on down and type in problem 2. And then practice merging these cells. Once again, most of the time you should be able to get away with highlighting 30 of these, or 6 rows and 5 columns. Once again, that's a right click, format cells, go to alignment, wrap text, merge cells, click OK. Top alignment, and then go ahead and move to problem 2 and see if you can get that one typed in for Marissa, and continue typing those in a similar fashion for problems 1 through 6, and then you can spend some time putting your worksheet together and solving these payroll problems. So what I'm going to do is zoom in on the actual text that you need to enter, so it's a little easier for you to see. So there's problems 1 and 2, so we can leave those on the screen. There's problem 3. Problem 4. And problems 5 and 6. So have fun working out those calculations, and of course ask any questions you may have. And remember, big hints can be found at worksheet number 2, gross earnings, and take a look at how we calculated the earnings and how those calculations were made. And as always, thank you for watching another exciting and dynamic Roommate video.